Good morning, Manala. Today we are going to see how to write a research paper and where to publish. Okay, so coming to a scientific paper, so we will see what is a scientific paper. Okay, so what it means. Before going to the scientific paper, today we are going to discuss the outline of the today's session is what is a scientific paper, then what are the various parts of a paper, then how to write each part of the paper, where to publish, and some conclusions. If time permits, we will see the project proposals. Then now, first coming to what is scientific paper actually. So it says the researcher articles provides a method for the researchers to communicate with the other researchers about the results. What it means? The research articles provide a method for the scientists or researchers to communicate with the other people who are working in the same area about our research. And now, what are the ways are there? We will see. So actually, we will have conferences, journals, through book chapters, and book is there. Okay, either conferences are there, journals are there, book chapters are there, books are there, as well as letters and patents will be there. Okay, the first, if we have the conference papers, like what is a conference paper, how to publish, I will tell you later. But if you have the stuff of 3 to 4 conference papers, I can publish a journal. If you have a stuff of 3 to 4 journals, I can publish one book chapter. If you have a stuff of 3 to 4 book chapters, I can publish a research book, but vice versa is not possible. Am I clear? If you have the stuff of 3 to 4 conferences, I can publish one journal. If you have stuff of 3 to 4 journals work, then I can publish a book chapter. And if you have the data of 3 to 4 book chapters, I can publish a research book. But reversal, once you publish a research book, you can't take one chapter and you can't publish as a book chapter. And if you already publish a book chapter, you can't take it some amount of data and you can't publish the journal. Reason is plagiarism problem will come. If you have already published the journal, same amount of data, 50% you can't take and publish in the conferences. Is it clear? I hope. So first, conference you have to aim, some 50% data you have to add and you go to the journals. Once 4-5 journals you have published, work is done, then book chapter you can go. Once the book chapters are done, then you can go with research books. Now, this is you are updating the existing data. That means you are improving some delta X and you are going for the publication. Suppose if you feel your idea is innovative and it is not exist in the records, that means it is not available in any of the research papers or conferences, book chapters, books, nowhere it is available. It is pure innovative idea if you are having. Then you will have a chance of publishing letters and patents. Whereas letters, it's a matter of 2 pages or 3 pages will be there. Within 2-3 pages, you have to convince the reviewers and editorial board about your idea. Whereas patents, its numbers will be approximately 10 to 15 will be there, and you have to give the ideology, everything has to be given in the patents. Okay. And coming to the conferences, up to maximum of 6 pages will be there. And journals, it starts from some 8 pages to some 20 pages. Even review journals, it may be maybe 50 to 100 papers also will be there. And book chapters is a combination of 4 journals, like it is of some 50 pages, and book will be of at least some 150 to 200 pages. Okay, so if you are updating the existing data, you will go with conference to journal, journal to book, book chapter to book. If you have an innovative idea, first you will publish as a letter, then the extended version, like if you give the full details, it can be published as a patent. Okay, now. So how many types of conference papers we are having? So there are 2 types of conference papers we are having. One is national and international. Now, what is a national? Can anyone answer? What is a national? Okay. So there are 2 are there. One is national conference. Second one is, even in chat box you can answer here. I expect some answers. Okay, leave it. Okay. The national, few members will say national conference is of local and international is of the foreign. It is wrong. National conference in the sense, the people will be organized the conference the within the, like how it will be, without taking permission from any of the bodies. The data will be published as a CD, or it will be published in as a book proceeding. If it is published in a book proceeding, or if it is published in a CDs, it will be restricted within the CD only. Your data will be restricted within the book only. That is called a national. It may be organized in India, it may be organized in US, it may be organized in UK, wherever it may be. The irrespective of the country, irrespective of the place, if the conference is organized and the proceedings are published in a CD or it is published in a book without going to the internet, without DOI numbers, it is called a national conference. Then what is international conference? You suppose we are approaching IEEE body or IETs elsewhere, some technical bodies are there. Through those technical bodies, if we organize a conference, okay, if we organize a conference through the technical bodies, what will happen? Once the conference is done, the proceedings will be published in scholar.google.com. Okay, so if the proceedings comes in either Scopus or scholar.google.com, or it is in Thomson Reuters, if it comes, what it is called? It is a international conference paper. So we'll call it as an international when the data is published in through the online with a DOI number, digital objective identifier number, we will call it as an international conference. If you are not associating with any of the international bodies, we are publishing just ourselves in the book, then it is national. The strictly you have to publish with the international. Reason is, if you publish in the through the national conference, your data will be within the book or CD. No one will recognize your data. No one will know your data, or no one will know your name itself. But if you publish in international conference, the entire world see your research. That's what the first statement what I had given. The research articles will provide a method for the researcher to communicate with other researchers. How we will communicate? Through publishing our research paper, any of these. That too, if you publish in international, that means if a data comes in the scholar.google.com or if it comes in the Scopus Index or Thomson Reuters, then only your name will be identified by the other paper. You can reach other researchers. I hope it is clear. Coming to the journal. Again, journal, there are two are there. One is national journals are there, international journals are there. Same applicable here. The national journals are, there won't be any indexing, but most of the journals are international journals. Again, there are research papers are there, review papers are there. The research paper in the sense, the considering some idea and you are adding some, you are doing some modeling or experimentation and getting the results and analyzing that results and writing a paper. That is called a research paper. If you do any modeling or simulation or hardware part and capturing the results and analyzing the results and putting in a paper, and if you publish it, it is called a research paper. You are doing some research, modeling you are doing, designing you are doing, and modeling you are doing, simulation, hardware, everything if you do, and if you publish the data, that is called a research paper. But if you download some 50 or hundreds of papers, you only review the paper, like you will analyze the technical part. If you write any paper without doing any simulation, without doing any hardware, without doing any design, without doing any modeling, if you have a technical skills or if you have a communication skills, then if you write one review paper, if you analyze just paper, that is called review paper. So analysis of some 50 to 100 papers is a review paper. The performance analysis is, if you do, it is a research paper. I hope you are clear. If you do just analysis technically, it is a review paper. If you do the performance analysis by doing modeling and simulations and hardware, it is called a research paper. Then book chapters and books possibilities will be there. Now, again, there are different types of conference papers are there. As I said, national and international. Again, in the international, there are biannual conferences, annual conferences, biennial conferences. Strictly, we have to go with not only international. There are several members are publishing IEEE or IET conferences. You should not just blindly, you should not go with, if it is IEEE, I have to publish. No, no, no. You have to publish only in biannual, annual and biennial conferences. What it means biannual? Every 6 months, like yearly twice, that conference indexing will be published. Suppose it is 32nd IEEE biannual conference. What it means? Last 16 years, that conference being organized at different places. That means it has its own value. Suppose what is annual? Suppose 20th or maybe 32nd annual conference, if I say. What it mean? Last 32 years, that conference being organized with the same name, like Indicon is there. 20th Indicon is there. Last 20 years, same Indicon conference is there, which will be organized by different IEEE bodies, different places it will be organized. Now, what is meant by biennial? Every 2 years with the same name, the conference will be organized. That means if it is 32 in the sense, last 64 years with the same name conference being organized. That means it has this own name, own identity is there for that conference. So now, not only international, in the international also, I have to see, is it biannual conference or not? Is it annual or not? Is it biennial or not? If you get a chance, you have to publish only in biennial conferences. Don't bother about biannual. You have to publish in biennial conferences. And now, and what type of conferences we are having? It will be organized by IEEE conferences, bodies, IET, elsewhere, Wiley, Springer. Some of the conferences are reputed conferences we have. IECON. Now this year it will be organized in Singapore in the month of October. It is a 46th annual conference. That means last 46 years onwards, this conference is there. Am I clear? So now this IECON, how they will do? If suppose if you publish in IECON, TENCON, PEDS, these annual or biannual conferences, if you send your paper, the rigorous review will be done. 20% of these papers will be referred for extended version of these papers will be referred for publishing in IEEE transactions. Suppose if you publish in normal IEEE conference, you won't get any chance in publishing any good journal. They will send you an email. Okay, your paper is quality is good, and we will publish in Scopus journal, and you pay the money. So you should not go with the paid journals. Suppose if you publish your conference in well-reputed like annual, biannual, and biennial conferences, the 20% of cream papers, the best papers, will be given a chance to submit it for the again IEEE transactions. So their peer review will be little bit easy way you can get the paper. So that's why. So you have to go with either IECON, TENCON, PEDS, PEDES, ISGT, Smart Grid Technologies, ICPS, Indicon. So such type of conference. Again, these are IEEE international conferences, but in India, there are two reputed national conferences are there. They are NPEC, NPEC, NPSC. So some of these National Power Electronic Conference and National Power System Conference, these are far better than even some Scopus journals. NPEC and NPSC, these are Centurion conferences, will be organized by mostly IITs or NITs. If you have a scope to publish only these two conferences, NPEC and NPSC, you can publish here rather than one Scopus journal. It has its own identity. So try to publish in only annual, biannual, biennial conferences such as these conferences, as well as if you get a chance, even NPEC, NPSC also you can publish. Now, how to, what is the procedure for submitting a paper? We'll see. Now, we'll see the procedure. 6 months prior to the conference, you will get a call for paper. Once you get a call for paper, what you need to do, you have to see the scope of the conference. What is the scope? So in which area the conference is meant for. By seeing that, there will be a scope of the conference will be there, as well as there will be tracks will be given to you. So by seeing the tracks, is your research area is fit for that conference or not? You have to see. ICPS is meant for International Conference of Power Systems. IICP is International Conference on Power Electronics. So suppose when you are sending for ICPS, mostly power system papers has to be sent. IICP, if you are sending, Power Electron Conference has to be sent. That will be better. So you have to see, is my paper will fit in this conference or not? You should not bother about only if it is annual or biannual, I have to send my paper. No. You should understand what is the scope of that conference. Then after seeing that, you see the track, is your paper fits in that conference, then you have to submit your paper. The submission will be, so 6 months prior to the conference, like if it is in month of maybe February, now maybe August or September, call for paper will come. Within 1 month, they will ask you to submit the paper. So you have to do the registration through EDAS or maybe some link they will give you. So you have to register through your email, then you have to submit the paper. Once you submit the paper will be goes to 3 to 4 reviewers. it will be reviewed, peer reviewed by the reviewers. They will give the comments. So what they will give, either it will be accepted or rejected. Try to understand. 6 months prior conference call per paper will come. If your paper suits, you will submit the paper. It will go for review. The reviewers will give comments, either accepted or rejected. If it is accepted, then sometimes what will happen, it may be directly acceptance, or they may say like accept with some modifications. But the accepted paper, you will do the revisions, you will submit the camera ready paper. But here the drawback is there won't be any other check will be there. Try to understand. Once the paper is accepted, either revised paper you will send, or same paper, camera ready paper has to be sent. If it is directly accepted, same paper will be sent, or with some revisions. If they ask accepted with some revision, you have to submit the paper, revised paper. Now here the problem is, if you are very good enough, then you will revise the paper properly. If someone what will do, if the paper is not, suppose even though paper is already accepted, and why to like change the data, so I will publish like that only, like that some people will be there, even they will not change the data, they will publish as it is. So if it is the case, you are submitting the paper sometimes without revision only, you are submitting. What will happen here, there won't be any check, you can't see the quality of the paper. So that's the reason conferences are least valued than the journals. Try to understand. Conferences have the least value compared to the journals. Reason is, here there won't be any check. What it means, if paper is accepted, we are submitting the camera ready paper. They will ask you to revise also. If the really that researcher is good person, then he will revise the paper, and he will revise paper will be submitted to the camera ready paper as a camera ready paper. If you are not that much good enough, then the person may send, he may avoid some comments, he may send, and he will do the registration fee. So here quality check won't be there. So you can't like believe on the conference papers. That's what I want to tell you. And second thing, so after submitting camera ready paper, you have to do the registration within a month. Then after that, what you have to do after registration, physically you have to present the paper, or nowadays because of COVID, maybe virtually you have to present the paper. How it will be, there will be one session chair will be there. Same papers track, some 10 papers together will be presented in one track. So that what will happen in the same area, what research is going on, you can understand. If you are registering a PhD, so starting 2-3 papers conference can be published. If you publish, what will happen in the same area, how others are thinking, how the work is going on, you can understand. So that is the reason here, after acceptance, you are submitting the paper, registration you are doing, you are physically presenting, or maybe virtually you are presenting your paper in front of the people. After that, publication proceedings will come after 1 to 2 months. So this entire process will take 6 months. And second thing, if the paper rejects, what I need to do, you revise the paper, send it to the other conference. That's it. Clear? I hope it is clear. 6 months prior to the conference, call for paper will come. You will see the scope, submit the paper, reviewer comments will come, revise the paper and submit. If it is accepted, camera ready paper you are sending, registration you are doing, you are presenting your paper in front of the panel, then you will get some critics. So based on that one, you can move ahead. And the publication proceedings will come online with a DOI number, digital objective identifier number they will give you. So that number will come. Once it is rejected, so you can revise the paper and you can send to the other conference. Okay. Next. Coming to the journals, there are 2 to 3 journals, different type of journals are there. One is SCI, SCIE, non-SCIE. What it means? Science Citation Index journal, Science Citation Index expanded journals. Non-SCIE is Scopus journal, even less than Scopus journals also there. What is SCI? Science Citation Index means it is published in Thomson Reuters database. It is well identified. Some ISO certificate is given. These are the standard journals. Science Citation Indexing. What is meant by citation? These are the referred journals. The work which is published in these journals is referred by thousands of the people. That is the reason these journals are named as, or it is under the umbrella of SCI or SCIE. SCI, SCIE journals, when the journals will be certified as SCI, SCIE is, If the work is published in any of the journal, that particular journal, the quality is high, the citations are coming more, then based on the citations and quality of the journal they are maintaining, or editorial board, and the quality how much they are maintaining, based on that one, they will issue a letter. It can be called as an SCI or SCIE. Understood? That means the work is the science, whatever science is there, it is cited and it is indexing with the help of Thomson Reuters database. Okay. So we are mostly preferably try to publish in SCI or SCI expanded journals. Both are same only. Some expanded database they have added. Non-SCI is Scopus Index may come or Google Scholar may come. Here I want to tell you, Google Scholar you might be knowing, I think. So all the papers, it may be international conference or maybe normal journal, international journal, SCI journal or SCIE journal, Scopus journal, everything comes in Scopus. Low rated to high rated papers, all the papers will be available in Google Scholar. There are 3 databases will be there. Mainly, one is Google Scholar. In Google Scholar, scholar.google.com. If you want, I can show you that website. One minute. It will be okay. There is a website is called scholar.google.com. Is there? Okay. You can go through the scholar.google.com. In the scholar.google.com, if you type either other name, person name, or if you type the title, the papers will be coming. So left side there is 2010, 2012. From 2010 also you can take 2020. Some blocks will be there year wise. You can open it. But in the Google Scholar, scholar.google.com, low rated to high rated papers, all the papers will be available. But how to choose which paper is best? Because in the conferences there is no extra check. If you download some international conference, people will say, or international journal people will say, some journals they will ask you pay some amount of 10,000 or 3,000. We'll publish in 1 month or we'll publish in 2 months. They will say strictly, if you are a good researcher, you should not pay single paisa to publish your journal. If you are publishing in the sense, you are degrading yourself. Try to understand. You should not pay single rupee to publish your journal. Sometimes IEEE transactions, they will ask you overland charges. Overland charges are different than the publishing charges. Try to understand. See, you should not pay single rupee for publishing any of the journal. If you are publishing, if they are publishing with some money-based journals are there, you should not go with such type of low-rated journals. That's what I want to tell you. So in the scholar.google.com, even such type of papers will be there. What will happen? For the just sake of the money, few members, they will name it as international journal, like that name they will give, and they will publish the data. What will happen? Even though quality of the paper is less, what they will do? They will try to publish the paper. So what will happen tomorrow if any of the good researcher want to start his work? If he download, even though mistakes say that paper got published, there is no another check is there. So what will happen? There will be misleading of the technology. There will be a misleading of technology will be there. So that is the reason what you have to do. It's better you go with the SCI journal, because in SCI journals, there will be a clear check will be there and people will publish the better papers only. They will not compromise on the quality. And here in the some paid journals, people will bother about not only quality, they will bother about the quantity. If they are bothering about the quantity and the financial things, there won't be any quality. So that's the reason. Don't bother about non-SCI journals, only bother about SCI and SCIE journals only. And coming to here, what is an impact factor? People will say, this is an international journal and impact factor is 5. How the impact factor will be calculated? Number of papers published in that journal, how many are there in that year, and how many citations have come during that year. That means suppose one paper has published and that paper was cited by 100 times. Second paper, 100 papers are published. Second paper is cited by 50 members. Third paper is cited by some 10 members. Suppose 5 papers are there, let us consider. Remaining 2 papers not published, not cited by anyone. So 100 plus 50 plus 10 by total 5. So what will happen? So 160 by 5. So that will be the impact factor of that journal. So number of papers published in that journal we will see, and number of citations got for that all the publications. So number of citations, total citations by number of papers published is an impact factor. Now, the impact factor of SCI journals is the true impact factor. But some journals, what will happen? The paid journals, they will ask you, they will force you to keep their own journals, papers in the references. That means what it means? They will say impact factor is 5, global impact factor 5 or a 10. So how they will let you? They will let you because of they're forcing you to keep their own journal papers. Am I clear? So impact factor is basically total number of citation by total number of papers published. So impact factor of the SCA journals will be good. That's what I want to say. Now, list of few SCA journals. IEEE journals are there, IET are there, elsewhere is there, Wiley, Taylor and Francis, Springer, and etc. If suppose IEEE there are, again, there are hundreds and thousands of journals are there, which are, I'll show you. There are hundreds of journals are there. It is based on power electronics, power system journals are there. Okay. Okay. Here you can see IEEE transactions on fuzzy systems, power and energy, power delivery. These are all our SCA journals only, indexing, impact with impact factor, industrial applications, control systems, automation control, smart grid, evaluationary competition, power electronics, industrial transaction, industrial electronics, informatics, emerging and selected topics in power electronics. Even there is an industry application recently it has come, energy conversion. There are several journals are there which are published by IEEE transaction. Now you have to see is your paper fits in that journal or not, and you have to see. In the same way, we will have even there are IET journals also there. Okay, that IET journals are these are. I hope it is visible.
Yes, sir.
IET renewable power generation is there. IET power electronics. IET electric power applications. Okay, IET generation transmission distribution, science measuring and technology. Now even IET smart grid is there. Okay, there are now they have increased to more than 20-30 journals are there. Okay, in the same way we do have elsewhere journals are there. Here also hundreds of power journals are there which are related with power electronics, power systems, control systems. See, power sources is there, electrical power and energy systems, applied soft computing, application of artificial intelligence. There are several journals are there. Now you have to choose which journal we need to publish. Okay, and Wiley also there are several journals are there. It is a pool of journals. Electrical engineering, transactions on electrical and electronic engineering, international transaction. It was European transactions on electric power. It is renamed as international transactions on electrical energy systems, wind energy, Wiley electrical engineering. There are the pool of journals are there. In the same way, Taylor and Francis, Springer journals, there are hundreds of journals are there. Now you need to select, these are all our SCA journals. Now, what I need to do, I need to see what is the quality of my paper. Okay, what is the, before sending, I should understand what is the quality of my paper, what is the quality of that journal, what is the scope of that journal. Then I need to communicate. Now, how the procedure we will see, how to submit. Then I will tell you some basics. To submit the journal, I need to create an account in the journal. You submit the paper, and once you submit the paper, it will be interrogated by the editor. He will see in which area you have sent. So they will give you classifications, and based on the paper checked by the editor, he will assign the associate editor. Within 15 days, he will appoint the associate editor. He is the associate editor is actually technical expert who works in that your area. Okay. Now this associated editor job is he will select the reviewers exactly who matches your area. Try to understand. First you are creating an account, then you will submit the paper. Once you submit, editor will check is the scope is there or not, some innovation is there or not. He will check roughly. Okay. After seeing generally, then what he will do, the paper will be sent to the associate editor. So now what will happen? This associate editor is the technical expert or he is the technical person. He will assign the reviewers, 3 to 4 reviewers. Sometimes 5 reviewers also will be there. Some IEEE journals. Okay, so what will happen?
Okay.
What will happen? Then the paper will be checked and it will be reviewed. Then status of the paper, what will happen? It will be sent within 2 to 3 months. Okay, now after review, earlier if you have seen in the conference papers, what was happened? There was either acceptance or rejectance. Okay, and there is no another check was there. But now coming to the journal, there is a chance of, if your quality of your paper is above 95%, the paper can be accepted. If the quality of your paper is in between 90 to 95%, provisional acceptance you may come. If the quality of paper is above 80%, minor revision you may get. If the quality of your paper is 75% and above, you may get major revision. If quality is above 60, you may get reject and resubmit. If quality is less than 60, your paper will be straight away rejected. Try to understand. After 3 months review, first review, if the quality of your paper is above 95%, it may be accepted. Or after that, based on the quality of your paper, it may be provisional acceptance may come, minor revision may come, major revision may come, reject and resubmit may come, reject may come. Suppose, we will see one condition. Suppose if the paper is accepted, if the quality is extremely good, you have followed all the things, then quality is good. The paper may be accepted. If it is accepted, what they will ask you, they will give you 10 days time to submit the final version of your paper. Once you submit your final version of your paper, they will do, there is a publication editorial board, na? There will be paper proofread people will be there. So they will arrange your proofread. Then after that, what will happen? One more time, the proofread will come to you. You have to go through the proofread. You have to say, yes, it is correct. Then what will happen? The paper will comes to the online. They will assign a DOI number, volume number, issue number, everything will be assigned. Try to understand. If the quality of your paper is very good, it will be directly accepted. And you need to submit the final version of paper. Either it is written in latex or it can be written in the Word file, has to be sent with the individual figures, separate figures has to be sent, figure 1, figure 2, figure 3 with a high resolution. And the entire, any changes are there, this is the time what you are going to change finally. Okay, so you need to send the final version. Once you send the final version, they will prepare as per their format. Either it may be IEEE format or IET format or maybe elsewhere, relay, whatever it may be, they will put it in their format. They will send you proofread. Then now you need to read the proofread. This is the last chance you are going to get any changes are there. Then what we are doing, so the proofread paper, what we are doing, after reading, we will send it back. Once you send it back, what will happen? You will publish, they will publish the paper online. First, before publishing online, what will happen? They will give early access. Early access means before the paper comes, there will be early access will be there. Before giving the DOI number, volume number, issue number, there will be early access will be there. Once they are ready with the entire data, then they will publish the paper and DOI is given. If suppose, if you got the provisional acceptance, what has to be done? You need to revise the paper and it will go for the review. Sometimes what will happen? The queries are very less. Associator only will take a call. If it is provisionally accepted, only associate editor will take a call and he will give the acceptance. Then for that one, just within 15 days, you need to, they will give you 15 days time to submit revision paper. Then it will be accepted. Suppose if minor revision comes, the quality is above 80%, 1 month time will be 1.5 month time will be given to you. Approximately now 1 month only they are giving. If it is a minor revision, 1 month time will be given to you. Within a month, you have to revise the paper properly. You have to address the queries of the reviewers. Then what will happen? If you revise and send the paper, then there is a scope. Either directly paper can be accepted or provisional acceptance may come. If it is provisional acceptance come, again 15 days, again 10 more days will go. If it is major revision comes, 3 months time will be given to you. Full, all the details has to be included. You need to send the paper. If here, sometimes major revision which comes, if you do the quality of the work or revision is extremely good, directly you may get acceptance. These two steps may not go. If the quality of revision is not proper, there is a scope, you will get minor revision also. Again, here quality is not that much good. You have not revised properly. There is again provisional acceptance. Like that it will go. If suppose So this way the paper will go. Now here 3 months, 1 month, 15 days, 10 more days. Now it is reject and resubmit comes. They will give you 3 months time. You need to revise and submit. Suppose if the quality is extremely good, directly within 3 months, first what will happen? First 15 days he took, then 8 days associated reviewer finding, then 3 months for first revision. Now if reject and resubmit comes, 3 more months for SCA journal, 6 months it took. If the quality is extremely good, within 6 months you will get a 1 SCA journal. Straight away from 5 to 1 you will go. If the quality of your revision is not proper, if the reviewers are not convinced, editorial board are not convinced, what will happen? Again major revision you will get. Again 3 more months you will spend. Again if the quality is good, then no issue. Within 9 months you will get the paper. If the quality again not good, minor revision will come. 1 more month, so 10 months you have spent. Again provisional acceptance. Sometimes what will happen, even though major revision has come, if you fail to do it properly, you will get rejectance also. So it's purely based on you, how you are doing the things. So few members will get within 4 months, they will get the paper. Few members will get within 6 months. Same journal they will get within maybe 1 year. Same journal publication. So it varies based on how you are revising your paper, in what way you are answering, how depth you know the things. So that's the reason. So here one thing is how to get the acceptance directly is you should understand, first of all, before sending the journal paper, you should understand what is the quality of your paper. What is the quality of that particular journal? So you have to download some 10 to 20 papers has to be downloaded. After downloading 10 to 20 papers, what you need to do? So how much quality they are maintaining? What is the standard of the journal? What is the standard of my paper? First, if you understand what is the quality of our paper, is it suits in the journal or not? If you do the self-check, it is easy to avoid these many steps. If you won't do the self-check, then what will happen? It will take the years together for publishing one good SCA journal. Okay, it's better to have one SCA journal rather than 10 Scopus journals. Try to understand. It's up to you. But in private colleges, publish or perish option is there. If you publish, you will get the promotion. But at least while publishing, try to publish in good Scopus journals, at least. So for that one, you should be strong enough in, fundamentally you are strong. You should be strong. How it is? You try to download more review papers. Okay, I will tell you that later. Otherwise, you try to download good review papers. Try to understand. Try to analyze the things. So first, try to understand the fundamentally entire concept. Then after that, after understanding, write the motivational factors. Based on motivational factors, you derive the research objectives. Then after that, you download the research papers. Then that research paper has to be properly studied. You have to understand. Now again, that research paper, there are hundreds of papers will be there. You try to understand, download the mother paper, you write, then you do the simulation with this background. If you do the fundamental, if you are strong, then you will get tens of papers. If you are not fundamentally strong in that area, if you do some simulation, if you get one result, if you publish a paper, next what you are going to do, you will not understand. If you understand what I am doing today, after 3 months, what I am going to do, if you understand after 1 year, what I am going to do, that work, if you have the roadmap, if you have the clear understanding, if you are clear and concise, then you will get the more number of papers easily. If you are not clear fundamentally, if you don't understand modeling, if you don't understand the design,
sir,
if you don't understand the next papers, it will be very difficult. Okay.
Excuse me, sir. Sir, actually, are you sharing the screen, because it is the screen which is going, which is getting shared is.
Okay. Okay. Now it is okay.
Yeah, it is okay, sir.
Sir, earlier what I have explained, did they see like acceptance, provisional acceptance, minor revision? That was not visible.
No, sir.
No, sir. No, sir.
No, sir. No, no.
Okay, sorry. Okay, fine. This one, have you seen?
No, sir.
Sir, you might have told me. Okay, sorry. Extremely sorry.
No,
Sorry for the inconvenience. Okay, just in a crisp, within 2 minutes I will complete. I have told you might have listened. Within 2 minutes I will complete. So create an account, submit the paper. It will be interacted by the editor. he will provide the technical associate editor. Then paper will be reviewed by the 3 to 4 reviewers. Okay. Then after 2 to 3 months of review, your paper revisions are ready. Now the status of the paper will be either acceptance, either provisional. It is visible now, sir, now?
Yes, sir.
Either provisional acceptance may come, minor revision may come, major revision may come, reject and resubmit may come, reject may come. Okay. As I told you, quality of paper is above 95%. Acceptance will be there. Okay. So if it is accepted, they will ask you to submit the final paper version. Then you will submit the final version, either LaTeX or Word file. Then what will happen? So it will comes in the early access. After that, it will be published online. So before publishing online, the proofread will come. You have to say, you have to agree with the proofread. Like if any changes are there, then you have to tell them that is a final call. Then after that, paper will be published and it will be assigned some DOI number, volume number, and issue number. So if the quality is extremely good, then within 4 months of submission, you will get the paper acceptance. So when you will get paper acceptance, if you understand quality of your paper, quality of that journal, if you send the quality is better than the published papers in that journal, then you will get the acceptance. Suppose if the provisional acceptance comes, again you need to revise the paper, it will be accepted, this process will happen. If the quality is above 80%, minor revision will come. If minor revision comes, if you revise the paper in a proper way, they will give you 1 month time to revise. For minor revision, again it will go for the review process. For you, 1 month time will be given. Again you will revise the paper, you will send. If you send the paper, reviewers again they will take 1 more month time and they will give the comments. So if you do it in a quality way, you may directly get the acceptance. Otherwise, again provisional acceptance will come. This process will happen. If the major revision comes, you have to revise the paper. 3 months time will be given to you for the review, for the revising your paper. Now you will submit the paper. Either within 1 month one can submit, within 3 months one can submit. Based on you, how fast you are reacting, how quality you are maintaining. If you are reacting fast and quality if you maintain good, then again it will go for revision. You are revising the paper. The revised paper will go for review. Okay. Then what will happen? They will take 1 more month time for the revision. After that, it may go for minor revision or directly may get the acceptance. So major revision quality is good and quickly if you finishes, what will happen? Within 6 to 7 months, acceptance will come. If quality if you won't maintain, then again 6 plus 1 more month plus 1 more month. So there may be chance 8 months may take. And if reject and resubmit will come, 3 months will be given to you. It will go for revision of the paper and reviewers will take the time. They will revise and major revision will come. Again paper revision it will go. And this process will continue. So that is the reason one paper will take maybe SCA journal 6 months to 1 year it will take. Reason is if you are revising your paper in a quality way, if you maintain the standards, if you answer all the queries, there is a chance quickly paper will be accepted. If you are not doing properly, these many stages you have to pass. It's purely depends on you how you are revising your paper. Clear? From 5 to 1 also you can go. Otherwise 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 steps if you are going, so absolutely it will take 1 year time. Okay. No, I hope it is clear. So here, why the journal papers or SCA papers have the more value? Why the people are talking about SCA only? Why not Scopus or why not conferences? Reason is this much check is going on, this much quality check is going on. That is the reason. If you start your research with one SCA journal, so you are downloaded quality paper. If you want to publish in that journal, you should maintain the quality. At the same time, quality paper, your base work is quality paper. You are doing the quality work, you are publishing in the quality journal. So what will happen? So it may take some time but the visibility will be more. But you are publishing in normal journals, which will not be cited by others. You will have the number will be more, 10 to 20 journals of Scopus. There won't be any value. If you have 2 journals of SCA, it is equal with 10 Scopus journals. That's what I want to tell you. So this much quality will happen. But if you go to conferences, this much quality check won't be there. Directly acceptance and you will present the paper. That's it. So that's the reason journal will be have more weightage than conferences. Okay. Now, how to write the paper? Okay. So now, try to understand. need to divide and conquer. What will happen? We have to, there is scientific paper consists of, there are various parts are there. So what we need to do, we need to deal with each part separately. And after the dealing each part separately, we need to organize them properly. So state of art should be proper. Finally, we need to assemble the parts together in a proper sequence way. Then we have to see. So that's the reason dividing and conquering is very, very important. Okay. Just 1 second. Sorry, I have a call. Sorry. Okay, now. So now, what are the parts? We'll see. So parts before the main body, parts actually, we have, there are various parts are there. One is main body of the paper. Second one is parts other than the main body. There are parts before the main body are there, parts after the main body is there. Try to understand. Total paper consists of the main body is there, parts before the main body are there, parts after the main body is there. So is it visible? Visible, no? Excuse me.
Sir, yes, sir, it is visible, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir. It is visible.
Okay. Now, what are the main body consists of? Introduction, theory, simulation and experimentation, results and discussion, conclusion. Try to understand. The main body of the paper is introduction, the theory related, simulation and experimentation, results and discussion, and conclusion. This is called as the main body of the paper. Parts before the main body are title, other details, abstract, keywords, nomenclature. Okay. Parts before the main body are title, other details, abstract, and keywords. Parts after the main body are acknowledgement and references. Try to understand. Main body includes introduction, theory, simulation and experimentation, results and discussion, conclusion. Parts before the main body are title, other details, abstract, keywords, as well as nomenclature. Then parts after the main body includes acknowledgement and references. Okay. Now, as a whole, if you consider the various parts of the paper, it will be like this. More or less, it is not like exactly same. If you consider this way, you will get one essay journal. Otherwise, from the middle, some items can be skipped. I will tell you. Title is must. Other details should be there. Abstract, keywords, nomenclature. There will be introduction. Introduction which deals with research background and motivational factors, organization of the paper. Then brief details of conventional topologies or conventional methodologies, whatever it may be. Brief details about conventional controllers. Here, you can cite the papers with a small brief introduction. Conventional, first after introduction, brief details about conventional topologies or methodologies, conventional controllers data has to be given. Then here the concentration is very less, but coming to the design and modeling of the proposed topologies and design and modeling of proposed controllers can be added, simulation and experimentation can be given, results and discussion can be given, comparative study, conclusion will be the system parameters, acknowledgement and references. These are all the parts individually we will see. And finally, I will conclude. Okay. So these things again we will discuss. Now, coming to the first one. In the main body, what introduction says? Introduction says what was the problem? Experimentation says how did you study the problem? Try to understand. In introduction, from the introduction, people can understand what was the problem, actual problem. From the experimentation, people will understand how did you study that problem. From the people will understand what did you find. And from the discussion, people will understand what do these findings mean. Is it clear? Introduction, what was the problem we will discuss. In the experimentation session, how do you study that problem? And in the results, what did you find? In the discussion, what do these findings mean? So these things has to be included. Now, how to decide the title? So individually we will discuss what is introduction, everything. First, I'm coming with the title. How to decide the title. This is the one who read by thousands of people in your research area. Okay, so many researchers will decide either I have to read the paper or not. So that is the reason you have a title. Even though inside data is good, it may not reach the readers. So that is the reason you have to give some simple and attractive way, and which should include controller name, what control you have considered, what methodology you have considered, under what factors you have considered. Okay, so everything has to be considered. Now I will show you. It should be written in fewest words, within 2 to 3 lines maximum of you have to consider. Now titles are, there are 3 different type of titles are there. As you know, one is title can be general, title can be specific, title can be more specific. Try to understand. Title can be general title you can give, title can be specific, title can be more specific. What is meant by general title? General title will give the idea of research work done. That means, you see one example I will tell you. Performance analysis of solar PV array configuration for improving the efficiency. Performance analysis of, so I have done some performance analysis of some PV configurations to improve the efficiency. This is general title. But whereas specific title will gives some detailed view of research work done. So example is performance analysis of series parallel TCT configuration for improving efficiency. There is a difference between general and specific. What it means? Earlier PV configuration I considered I have written, that is a general title. Now specific title what I had given, what configuration I have considered also I had given, series parallel TCT configuration I have considered. The title should not be general, should not be specific, it should be more specific. How it should be? It gives clear, concise view of your research. What it is? Modeling and performance analysis of series parallel TCT configuration for mitigating mismatching losses under partial shading conditions. What it is? Modeling I have done, and performance analysis of series parallel TCT configuration for mitigating mismatching losses under shading conditions. Am I clear? Here what I have considered? I have considered 3 configurations for mitigation of mismatching losses under shading condition. Same paper can be titled specific also. Here improving efficiency. How we have improved the efficiency? By mitigating the loss under partial shading conditions. So do you understand? Now if you give your title more specific, the more amount of readers will read your paper and you will get more citations, or your H index will be improved. Otherwise, if you give your title as a general way, if you want to extend your paperwork to another configuration, it is very difficult. Suppose one has considered series parallel TCT bridge link honeycomb configuration are there. Okay, so if you consider 5-6 configurations or some reconfiguration techniques are there. If you say one paper solar PV you have written. So one paper I have done for series parallel TCT I have done. Second paper I have done for bridge link honeycomb I have done. So if I give more specific, I will have a chance to write one more paper with different name. Am I getting? Otherwise, if I give general title, what will happen? I will not have any scope to get the title for. It should be very clear and concise in nature. Okay, so that is the reason what I need to do. The main thing is I have to consider, okay, more specific journal has to be given. Okay, so title should be more specific first. So title is clear. Now, and here some examples are FPGA controller based control strategies for power quality enhancement. So FPGA controller I have used, some control strategies I have used for power quality enhancement. This is one general example. Now you see, one is like a power electronic I had given, now power system I want to give. FPGA controller based PQ and IDIQ control strategies for power quality enhancement. This is specific, that means PQ IDIQ control strategies I have used. Now compared to specific, more specific is FPGA controller based or fuzzy logic controller based PQ and IDIQ control strategies for mitigation of current harmonics. Power quality enhancement is doing. How I am doing? By mitigating current harmonics. So I have to go with more specific title rather than general or specific title. I hope you understand. Now, the abbreviation we have to avoid as much as possible. You should not use too many abbreviations in the title. So when to write the title, it should be first you should have one idea what work you are doing. Rough title in your mind you have to think, but the thing is the title should be named at the last of the paper. The title should be written at the end of entire paper. Okay, but in your mind rough title name should be there. That is a draft title, but title should be written after writing the abstract and after writing the entire paper. Okay, so just we need to give the name of the baby after born. Before borning only we can't give na, either baby girl or baby boy, we don't know. So before only if you name the baby, people will laugh at you. So that's the reason. In the same way, after writing the paper, by seeing the quality, seeing the structure, then you have to give the name. Now, how to list the others? After the title, we have other details. How to list the others? There is no limit of number of others, but the thing is, it's better 2 to 3 others. If you end up, it will be good. There is a first other, principal other, second other, third other will be there. And one more thing, among these 3, there is a corresponding other. Try to understand. First other, second other, third other. So how we are giving the names? Based on the contribution of work. Based on the contribution of work, the first other will be the one who contributed more substantial work, and the guide will be generally he will be last. Okay, but what will happen? There will be only one person will be there who is corresponding your paper. First other will get the fame, but the corresponding other will get the blame also. Try to understand. The first other will get the fame, the corresponding other will get fame as well as blame. The reason is the corresponding other is the one who is communicating your journal or conference. Suppose tomorrow any query comes, any problem comes, then what will happen? The corresponding other is the one who is giving the answers. Try to understand. Here I want to tell you, suppose if you want to publish any work, if you know throughout in and out, then if you publish it is okay. If you publish false data, what will happen? I will show you one example. If a paper is published, suppose if someone from somewhere who is working in your area, if you find there are some problems are there are some errors are there, even on published paper, one can give they can publish one paper on your paper. How it is comments on so and so published paper. How it will be, I will show you. 1 second. One second, give me 1 second. Okay. Google, you can type, it is not opening anything. Okay. If time permits, I will show you. So what will happen? The comments will come on said paper. Then after that, what will happen? There is erratum has to be given. What is erratum in the sense? 1 second. What is erratum is, suppose if you have published one paper, suppose on one topic, then what will happen? Few members has identified there is a mistake. Then they will send, these are the comments. So in this logic, this mistake is happened. In this particular thing, this is what the methodology they have used. It is wrong. Here, these parameters they have considered. Here there is a mistake. As per that values, the curve should not be this one. It should be changed like that. There are some queries people will ask. If suppose whatever the queries are sent to the editorial board, that queries should be reviewed by the reviewers. Even if you find some mistakes on any of the published paper, if you send one write-up to the editorial board, the write-up will be reviewed by the reviewers. If they say, yes, whatever the critics we have received from the some other others on the published paper, it is correct. If they feel, then what will happen? They will send an email or caution email to the published others. See, these are the comments we received. These are the errors are there. How can you defend? Then what he need to do? If his work is proper, no issue. If his work is not proper, that's the reason that comments has come. He need to reply to these comments. Reply to these comments in the sense, erratum it is called. Reply to the comments, he need to answer within 1 month time or 2 months time, and he need to submit. That comments again, reply to the comments will be reviewed by other persons, reviewers. Try to understand, one paper is published after this much process. in that publishing data, there are some mistakes are there. Let us consider. If some other reviewer, some other people who are working in that research area, that researcher has identified the problems and he has sent some format or some comments to the editorial board saying like, in this paper, these mistakes are there. These people has done some false review, or these people has done some false research, like that. If they're able to prove it, how it will be proved? After sending, it goes to the review process. The reviewers say like, yes, the comments which is received from the another person, it is correct if they say. Now first, the one who has published the work, he should give reply to the comments. Then what will happen? 3 papers will be published. First one paper he has published, then comments on that paper will publish online, and reply to that comments also will be published. Then who will be blamed? Corresponding author will be blamed more, and he will be blocked from publishing in that journals. He will be blocked 2 to 3 years, or he will be, his lifetime he can't journal the journal paper to that journal. Reason is he has like published the false data with the journal. That's the reason he will be blocked. You understood? So publishing is not a matter. Publishing the false work is more dangerous than without publishing. So even if you don't have any paper, not an issue. If you publish the false data, then the blame will goes to the corresponding author. So corresponding author should be mostly a faculty should correspond the paper rather than a student. That's what I want to tell you. So, and the order will be, first author will be who contributed more, second author will be less contribution, third author will be mostly guide will be there. Generally guide will be the last author. But whereas coming to the review papers, yes, the order should be reversed. First will be the guide because he is the senior most person, and then who did substantial work, that person will be next. Okay. Okay. Now, how to give the names? You have to follow uniformity. How it is? Suppose if I give Suresh Mikili, it will becomes as S Mikili. This is my name. Surname is that unique. Okay. If it is S Mikili comes, there is only 1 or 2 members will be there with that Mikili name with S. If I give my name as Mikili Suresh, then what will happen? M Suresh will come. There are so many people Suresh name with will be there with the initial of M. So I should publish, the first should be your name, first name, last should be your surname, so that what will happen? S Mikili, like that it will come instead of M Suresh. So generally it's better you follow uniform style, either this way or this way. Better I suggest you try to publish your first name, you give first, then surname you give last, so that there will be uniformity will be there. There will be unique identity will be there for your papers. The people will understand S Mikili in the sense, the people will understand. Okay. But unfortunately with my name, one more faculty is there, one university, the same MTech, he qualified from NIT Warangal. Okay. Okay. Next one. Now, how to list the addresses? Email address has to be given. How to prepare the abstract? Now we will see. The abstract is a summary of, or it is an extension of your title. Okay. It should be of 100 to 250 words has to be given. And here how it should be: state the main objective, scope of the investigation, describe the methodology employed, summary has to be given. So here basically one hand abstract expands the title, on the other hand it compacts the whole paper. Try to understand. One hand abstract expands the title, on the other hand it compacts the whole paper. So how it is? The sequence is the first. Mainly there are 6 lines are there. While writing the abstract, you have to remember one thing. The first line should be a problem statement. While writing the abstract, first should be problem statement. Specific problem should be identified in the research area. What is the main problem in that area? What is the main hazard in that area? So first you need to state that problem. Second line should be, what are the existing methodologies are there? What are the conventional methodologies or methods, or what are the controllers are available in that area? Second line should be stated. First line is, what is the importance of the topic? Second one is, what is the approach till now available? Like within a line, you should write what are the existing methods is available, even though methods are available. Third one, what is the drawback of this method? What is the loophole? Okay, what is the gap? So you have to state. Third line should be, what is the drawback of the conventional method? Within a line, you have to extend. After that, now fourth line should be, to avoid that drawbacks, what are the proposed research methodology adapted? What are the proposed technology adopted? What is the proposed control adopted? So generally what we will write in this paper, we have considered these many topologies, we will start. No. That is wrong. So what we need to do, first you have to give the problem statement. What is the importance or what is the significance of the topic? Second one, try to state what are the methods available, what is the drawback of the existing method. From the fourth line you start. So to overcome the above drawback in this paper, we have considered, then you go, so that what will happen, there is a background is there. What is existing? What is the drawback of existing? Now what you are proposing. So with the abstract itself, person can be convinced why to read your paper. Otherwise what will happen? It will be difficult. In this paper I have considered so and so. What was the background? No one will understand. So reviewer will be more appreciate, he will give the chance to read your paper in an effective way when you consider all these. Next, fifth line should be what parameters you have analyzed, and last should be under which platform you have considered. So first, problem statement, existing methods or methodologies, drawbacks of the methods, to next proposed methodology, what you have considered, what parameters you have analyzed, maybe voltage regulation have you done, or THD harmonic calculation you have done, or mitigating the losses, mismatching losses, what you have done, what parameters you have analyzed, it has to be given. Under which platform you have done, either MATLAB, MyPower, PSpice, or hardware implementation, or DSpace, TSP, under which platform you have done. So if you give this one, abstract will be proper. Okay, this is the sequential procedure to write an abstract. When to write an abstract? After completion of the final draft, you have to write. After writing the abstract, title should be written. Now, next, keywords. So the keywords, you have to select the keywords from your proposed methods, proposed controller, and from the conditions what you have considered, under which condition you have considered, what parameters you have. Try to understand. It is of 6 keywords you are considering. At least 6 keywords has to be considered. One keyword should be of, definitely should be from controller, proposed controller. One keyword should be of proposed method or proposed topology. One keyword, at least 1 or 2 keywords from the parameters analyzed, main parameters analyzed. Okay. So like that, if you consider what will happen, people can understand what is the new technology he has considered. So these are the buzzwords or repeated words. So basically, instead of conventional methods, you try to give proposed methodology, what you considered name, proposed controller, then parameters being analyzed, some names has to be given. Okay. Now, nomenclature. Most of the papers, people will not give nomenclature. You have to give nomenclature. Reason is after the keywords, if you give, or in the introduction, if you give nomenclature, people can understand the short forms of list of symbols, what you have considered, list of abbreviation, what you have considered, short forms first only you are introducing, so that people are more habituated, or they will understand before reading, they will be like noted. So list of symbols, list of abbreviation should be given in the nomenclature. Then after that, introduction. Coming to the introduction, I hope it is understood. So title should be, again I'm repeating, title should be more specific. It may be general, specific, or more specific. It should be more specific. Then after the title, there should be other details. First other, second other, third other, and a corresponding other will be there, anyone. So corresponding other should be of your guide. And the first other will be who did the research work, that person. And you should see the quality work has to be sent to the journals. Otherwise, you will be blamed. And with an email ID has to be given. Next one, abstract. The problem statement has to be given. Conventional methodologies. Then drawbacks of conventional methodologies. Then proposed work. Then parameters analyzed. Then after that, working environment. Then after that, keywords. You have to select the best keywords that is based on what it is. Based on the parameters analyzed. Methodology you have considered. What methods you have considered. Proposed methods, that too. Proposed controllers. Proposed topologies. Okay. Now, coming to the introduction. Introduction is, nomenclature is list of symbols and other thing. Introduction is extension of an abstract. Abstract is an extension of title. Now, introduction is extension of your abstract. That means what it discuss. Earlier 6 lines were there. It consists of 7 paragraphs. So how it is? First, problem statement you are given there. Now, extend your problem statement. In depth, you have to discuss what is the problem. what is the consequence of the problem? What is the cause of the problem? What is the consequence of the problem? Try to understand. In the first paragraph, you have to explain what is the cause of that problem. What is the consequence of the problem if I won't solve that problem? Second statement is what is the conventional methodologies available. So second paragraph should be what is the conventional methods available, what are all the conventional controllers are available. So from just 1 or 2 paragraphs has to be written based on conventional methods and methodologies. What it is here, you have to cite some papers and you have to give introduction about the existing from first method to second method, how it went. From there, how the improvement happened to second method, how the improvement happened to third method. So what is the drawback? Now what is the gap? So generally here, what is the gap you need to address from the conventional methods? From the conventional controllers, which controller it was used for same application, then which controller is next improved, then now what is the gap? What is the problem? Okay, in the same way, next one, in this paper we have considered these topologies. So extension has to be given, what parameters are analyzed. And the last paragraph, one paragraph should be given. That paragraph should be organization of your paper. In this paper, section 2 deals with so and so, section 3 deals with so and so, section 4 deals with so and so. Like that, it has to be given. If possible, in the introduction itself, if you give overall diagram, it will be very good enough. Reason is the overall diagram of your paper, if you give, including inputs, outputs, control diagrams, the control structure, as well as methods, controllers, some topologies, everything. If you give overall diagram in the introduction, after that, if you write that organization of the paper, people will recall nicely. It will be very good. Then after that, so what we need, okay, this is fine. So once the introduction is done, then we need to go for conventional methodologies of your research area. Now, if you write the conventional methodologies, you have to remember one thing, which were the conventional methods or conventional controllers, which were published by or already someone else has published. So here, either you have to give one diagram, the best diagram you have to give. You try to give less theory and try to cite those papers. Don't give the theory too much, give less amount of theory. The researcher can include few circuit diagrams, few equations, brief theory, and we need to explain about the methodology. In these conventional methods, more what we need to give, if possible, try to give results here. How the results talking. You try to give the discussion about that methods, what these results is, what are the drawbacks, what is the problem. So instead of that, don't give more amount of theory, don't give too many equations, just recall that, cite that references, that's it. So in the conventional methods or conventional controllers, just you have to give less amount of theory, or with structures, diagrams has to be given, few equations has to be given, brief theory, and supported with results has to be given with good discussion. Okay. But whereas coming to the proposed methods, now because of some problems, you have moved for proposed methods. So now for why you have moved for proposed methods? Here you have to give design aspects. So more amount, you have to give design aspects, more amount of theory has to be given, more amount of more internal structure diagrams has to be given, overall diagram has to be given, internal structure has to be given, more equations, parameters considered, parameters analyzed, and even full analysis has to be given. Try to understand. This is the proposed method, what you have considered. So you have to give more focus on proposed method. And here you are proposing something. So here block diagram, including internal structure diagram has to be given, schematic has to be given, and design aspects, more amount of theory, design parts, more amount of equations, as well as parameters, everything should be considered along with your simulation results, and discussion has to be given. Okay. And coming to next, suppose if you have considered two methods of conventional methods, or two controllers you have considered, two proposed methods you have considered. Now what I will do, I will compare the performance. So compared to conventional study, how my proposed method, compared to conventional controller, how my proposed controller is acting. So you need to comparative study, either it may be bar graphs, it may be line graph, it may be tabulation has to be given. It should be maximum of half page to 1 page has to be given. So after conventional study, there is a discussion is there. After proposed method, there is a discussion is there. Now it is The summary of indirectly stacking is a summary of shown in one graphs or tables or figures, line graph or bar graphs. The summary which says the conventional and proposed methods, what you got the findings here in one diagram or one table, in one bar graph, in one line graph we are depicting, so that people can understand how best the improvement is. Okay. Then how to write the experimental session. So coming to the hardware implementation, if you are having, then what we will do, till now what was done. So conventional methodologies, conventional controllers, proposed method, proposed controller, comparative study we have done. If you have the simulation work, if it is a small journal, this is fine. If we are going for highly reputed journals, some transactions, so we need hardware. So in the hardware implementation, experimentation, what is experimentation? Experiment work, what you have done, experimental details, what experiments you have done, what are the apparatus required, how the experimental setup is done, what materials and what methodology you have considered. These are all the details has to be given. How it is, we need to provide the full details about how the experimentation was. Okay, what are the details? What experiments you have done? Like suppose there are 2-3 tests you will conduct, under which conditions you have done. Okay, whatever methods you have considered. So everything has to be given so that other researchers can also follow you. That's it. Okay. So, but here you remember one thing, lengthy description should not be given. How, like critical way, like in a brief way you have to cite, and to people should understand that. In that way it has to be given. So how to write the results? Now you have done simulations, now you have done experimentation, everything is done. So after that, this is the critical part. Now you got some results, isn't it? Once you got the results,
Hello, sir, Suresh sir. Anna sir, మీ వాయిస్
so now what we are doing, so we have discussed how the experiment session. Now while writing the results and discussion, what we need to do, if you go to the MATLAB, there is a figure properties are there. Few members, what they will do, print screen they will do, and they will publish, they will send the papers. That is the worst thing what you people are doing. So what we need to do is, you have to go to the figure properties. You should not publish your raw data. You have to do the process data. What it means, you go to figure properties, edit the figure properties, labeling x-axis, y-axis has to be given properly, and as well as suppose you am doing PV configurations. Let us consider, if I do the PV configurations, so, sir, someone Ravi is there. Can you do the video off? Don't mind. Okay. So what we need to do, go to the edit figure properties, labeling has to be done, set properly, and thickness of the waveform should be selected properly. Then after the thickness, then what we need to do, you have to see, sometimes what will happen, two results you are analyzing. Suppose you take PV configuration, you will take IV PV curves you are taking, under different partial shading conditions you are taking. You will have local MPP will be there, global MPP will be there. I need to show local MPP, what are the local MPPs, what is the global MPP. So where I am getting, which method is better. So the labeling along with all the parts has to be considered, not only x-axis, y-axis, thickness of the graphs has to be taken. And one more thing, we need to consider this one also. Which one? Proper labeling of which one is the with a PI control, which one is the fuzzy control, what type of how many shading condition you have considered. So everything should be labeled properly, results. So that is called the process data. While taking the results, raw data should not be taken. That means print screen should not be taken. It should be processed properly and you have to take the results. Now, in the same way, experimentation you are doing, let us consider. You should not take the print screen. What you need to do, you have to take from the pen drive, and again, labeling x-axis, y-axis has to be given. And if there are 2 or 3 graphs are there, first graph, what is the name? Third graph, second graph, what is the name? Entire labeling has to be given properly along with, so per division, how much value, what is the values, it has to be given. Okay, that is called process data has to be given. Now, once you got the process data result says what it says. Results you have captured, you have processed it, edited it. Now the main part is heart of your paper is discussion. Now what this result says, what this finding says, this is the hardest section. Now you should understand, you should interpret, or you have to like explain the others or reviewers, like this is what I got the data. Now you have to discuss what these findings mean. You have to explain in a better way so that your paper will be accepted. Otherwise, if you won't understand, if you won't analyze that results, if you won't give the discussion session in a better way, how best your results are, how good your experimentation is, no one will bother. If you are poor in analyzing skills, if you get the data, but if you're poor in analyzing skills, your paper will be rejected. Okay. Now, after discussion, okay, these things, okay, leave it. Primary purpose of discussion is to show relationship among observed facts. Now, coming to the conclusion, it's not the overall conclusion, conclusion of your paper. Okay, coming to the conclusion of your paper, there are 2 types of conclusions are there. Here, what we are giving through the comparative study, one summary you have got. Okay. So from that comparative study, here we will draw the conclusion. Okay, what it is, how we will write. There are 2 types of conclusions are there. So one conclusion is, sorry, it is hidden. I will show you. One conclusion is general type. Second one is indicative type. Try to understand. The conclusions are 2 types are there. One is general conclusion. Second one is, one second. Sorry. One is general type conclusion. Second one is indicative. What is general? It gives the conclusion in a general way. Like people will say, performance of my controller is outstanding, or it is dynamic, it is better than the conventional method. So it is a general type. Like how we are giving title more specific, here also in a conclusion also it should be in an indicative type. How it is, you have to highlight your research work by giving the numerical values. How much percentage of improvement is happened from conventional method, what is the THD? With the help of proposed method, what is the THD? Under shading conditions, how much you got? Okay, so under which condition the mismatching loss, how much is percentage improved? Everything, if you give in an indicative way, how much percentage is improved, if you say, the people will be more attractive for your work. Otherwise, if you say it is dynamic, it is extremely good, like that, if you say general type, no one will bother about your work. Okay, so the conclusion should be of indicative nature. Is it clear? Now, significance. Okay, now how to write the acknowledgement. This is an optional, it is not mandatory, it's up to you. Suppose if you take any help, suppose if you don't have any experimentation, you have taken help from some other universities, or if you have taken some help from suppose other should be, if he has contributed more, you can give the othership. If he has not contributed, he has just helped you in some part execution, then you can give acknowledgement. I would like to thank my colleague, or I would like to thank one institution, one organization, one company, or one person. You can help Mostly people will thank the DST projects who got, then they will thank, would like to thank the DST for giving an opportunity to execute this work. Okay, this is just optional one. Now, how to cite the references? Coming to the last references, how to cite. Here, the people will take least responsibility by doing it. So here you should have more cautious. Being a reviewer or being a, I am an associate editor for some journals, what we will see title, we will see the abstract, we will see the references, conclusion references. The reason is your references should have at least 4 to 5 review papers you should have. The reason is, and after that, at least you should have 4 to 5 the conventional methods, some 2-3 papers of conventional controllers, 2-3 papers of the proposed methods, 2-3 papers of proposed controllers. You should have all varieties of papers including together. Suppose the reason is why you should have review papers of 2 to 3. Suppose you are doing grid connected PV system. Try to understand. There is a source, like there's a configurations, converter, there is an inverter topology, there's a grid connection is there. Now, if you are doing overall grid connected PV system, you should have some review papers on configuration. You should have some review papers on converters. You should have some review papers on MPP techniques. You should have some review papers on inverter topologies. You should have review paper on grid connected PV system. Then only you can understand what is the best it is happening. And one more thing, the review paper, whatever you are giving in the references, it should be the recent. Try to understand. Suppose 20 references you are giving, out of which 5 review papers you are giving. That review paper should be of recent paper, has to be given either 2019 or 2020. Reason is that review paper consists of the recent work. That means all the things are included in that research paper, review paper. Am I clear? So that review paper also stage wise has to be given. Suppose your modeling consists of some configuration, some controller, or some methodology is there, overall structure is there. At least 3 to 4 review papers has to be given based on your area. That too, recent review papers has to be given. Clear? And after that, the research papers also stage wise, section wise, old paper to research paper should be old to new has to be given. The reason is old what was happened, the middle what they have done, now what they are doing. So research paper should be old to new, review paper should be recent paper has to be considered. Okay. And the styles are, the format is, suppose for a journal, how to write, unique styles will be there from journal to journal. Generally how it will be, author's name followed by paper title, journal name, volume number, issue number, page numbers, and year of publication. Like Suresh Mikli, title, IIT Power Electronics, volume, number, paper, and there is year. So you have to follow the uniformity in your references. Coming to the conferences, what we will, suppose if it is a book, what I need to give, author's name, book title, edition, publisher, place, then month and year. Then coming to the conference, author's name, paper title, in which proceeding conference has done, in proceedings of conference name, venue of the conference, pages, month and year. Suppose you see here, name, title, in proceedings of IEEE, you see here, observe clearly, IEEE annual conference. This is of 36th or 38th, it is not visible. IECON conference, Montreal, Canada. So this paper is of IEEE annual conference. So like that, it has to be given in proceedings of. If it is a book, CRC Press. If it is a journal, the journal name. So you have to follow unique styles, and the entire paper should be in one format, references should be. And the references should be of 4 to 5 review papers of recent, and research should be old to new. Okay. And how to prepare effective illustrations, when to illustrate, when to use graphs. So try to see. What I want to tell you is, whenever you want to give one figure or equation, first you have to introduce the figure. Try to understand. So today's session also, someone has introduced me, then I have taken a session. I have not taken directly like session, isn't it? Someone should introduce that. In the same way, when you are giving the figure, no heading should be started with a figure or equation or maybe tabulation, directly you should not start. What you need to do, introduce figure 1 deals with so and so. Then you give the figure. Then you give the details. Then people can understand. If you won't give the introduction, then after that analysis, if you won't give one place figure, some other place introduction, first only you're giving the theory. No. First you introduce the figure or introduce the equation, give the equation, then explain the equation. Introduce the table, give the table, then analyze the table. So like that it should be. Okay. No. So typing the manuscript is based on, they will have some other details will be there. You have to follow that. You have to prepare. Now, finally, what we have done, title should be more specific. Other details, first other, second other, third other, one of the other should be of corresponding other. You should be more careful. You should be faculty. Abstract should be of 6. One is of problem statement we have to discuss, conventional methodologies, drawbacks of conventional methodologies, then proposed methodology, parameters analyzed, platform used. Coming to the keywords, it should be of from the proposed method, proposed controller, then parameters analyzed. Then coming to the nomenclature, it should deal with symbols and abbreviation. Coming to the introduction, research background has to be given, organization of the paper. Research background in the sense, what is the problem? What is the cause of that problem? If I won't solve that problem, what is the consequence? Now next after that, so what are the existing methods, existing controllers? From method to method, what is the improvement happen? Now what is the gap? Everything has to be given in a sequence way by citing that papers. Okay. Then after that, organizes the paper is, this paper is organized as section wise. Section 2 deals with conventional methods. Section 3 deals with controllers. Section 4 deals with, like that has to be given. Now coming to the conventional topologies, less theory with schematic diagram has to be given. Results has to be given. You have to analyze. Advantage, disadvantage has to be given. In the conventional topologies, what is advantage? What is the disadvantage? The discussion has to be given. Or what is the improvement? What is the drawback? After that, if you are giving conventional controllers, then what we will give? Less amount of theory with schematic diagrams, analysis, results you have to give, advantages, disadvantages. These advantages, this is with controllers, you will get the better answer compared to without controllers. Then after that, proposed methodologies are far better than conventional controllers. Here you are proposing the data, design, modeling, everything has to be given along with the schematic diagrams, analysis, advantage, disadvantage, everything has to be given. Now to the topologies, if you use controllers, this is the last one. Design, modeling, analysis, only advantage has to be given in your paper. If you are dealing with only controllers, only advantage you have to give, you leave it. This is not the thesis. In your paper, you have to give last, which one you have proposed, either it may be method or controller. Last best one should be with the advantages should ended up. If you discuss last disadvantage of feature scope, this is not a thesis to give feature scope. Okay. So that's the reason here you have to give only analysis, discussion, and only advantages. If there is an hardware implementation is there, so methodology, experimentation, design, modeling, analysis, advantage has to be given. Coming to the comparative study, 2 comparative study has to be taken. If you have simulation and hardware, simulation separate comparative study has to be taken, hardware separate comparative study has to be given, because the values will be little bit different will come. So how the comparative study can be given? With the help of bar graph, line graphs, tabulations. Now coming to the conclusion, it is general or indicative. It should be indicative. The reason is how much percentage improvement has happened has to be given. After that, the references. Coming to the references, it should be a combination of review papers and research papers. Review should be recent papers. Research paper should be old to new. Coming to the acknowledgement, if it is required, you have to give, otherwise not required. Okay. Now, how to publish the paper? In 5 minutes, I will wind up. How to publish? First, see the current contents. Like the conference, there won't be any call. Only for few journals, there will be a call for special journals, special sessions. Otherwise, there won't be any call. So you have to, at any time from your desk, you can communicate. At any time, you can communicate. So first you see the contents of the journal, scope of the journal. Then after that, what you need to do, based on the current contents. One good thing is, you try to see recently published papers in your area. Try to compare your data with that area. Try to see the quality of your paper. Then discuss with your fellow beings. Then read the scope. Then communicate. Before communicating, what you need to do, you should publish in only SCI journals. And before communicating the importance, okay, what we need to do, you keep it with you for 1 week, you read once, again you read, the mistakes will come. Once you read paper, hard paper, like second one is hard copy. First you read the soft copy, you will understand. Then you give it to your colleague, let him read. Then let the critics you get, then you submit. Otherwise what will happen, if you won't read your paper twice or thrice, you can't identify. Then before sending, you try to download the research papers and try to do it. Okay. Now, how the review process will be, as I told you, editor will be assigned. There are managing editors, associate editors will be there. Review process will go. Editor decision will come. Acceptance, rejectance, or provisional acceptance, major revision, minor revision may come. So guidelines will come. So what they will ask, what is the importance of the topic? Reviewers generally they will ask, what is the originality of the work, appropriateness, adequacy, soundness of the conclusion. And one more thing they will ask, relevance of the discussion, soundness of the organization, awareness, careful attention is there or not, appropriateness is there or not, and relevant. One more thing, is it is already published or not also they will ask, like you see, originality, poor, marginal, acceptable, good or excellent, significance, poor, these things has to be given, completeness, clarity, overall rating. So these are all the things they will ask. One more thing, they will ask, is this work technically correct? Is this manuscript free of commercialism? Are you aware of prior publication of this paper? Okay, these things will be asked by the editorial board to the reviewers. They will answer this. So now you should understand everything and you have to send. Okay. Review paper, you leave it. Now coming to conclude, technical writing is more of science than art. Okay. So you have to follow the proper way. Okay. Practice makes man perfect. You try to see the better way. Okay. So I hope you understand. So you try to publish last. What I want to tell you is try to publish in good annual, biannual and biennial, IEEE or IET, international conference only you publish. If possible, avoid Scopus, try to publish in SCI journals. Here I want to tell you one thing. In SCI journals also, there is low impact factor journals are there, high impact factor journals are there. You have to identify, so my area is there. So in SCI journal, in which SCI journal I can publish. So now you try to type SCI journals in electrical engineering in Google. You will have hundreds of journals are there. You download your area journals. You try to do some research. Irrespective of someone is giving you the data, you do the research. Okay. You download some journals. You see. Now your paper is there. See the content of 4 or 5 journals. At the starting only, it is very difficult to publish in IEEE transaction, in IITs, elsewhere. First you publish with a Springer. Now you will have some confidence. After that, you publish in maybe village journals, Taylor and Francis, then elsewhere, then IIT, then IEEE. Starting only, if you send to IEEE, there may be rejections may come. Okay, so try from one step. You will reach definitely. If you feel SCI is very strong, we can't publish. If you like that, you think no, it will be difficult. So try to focus and try to publish in good journals. Okay, so I believe quality is better than the quantity. If your work is quality work is there, try to publish in the quality work irrespective of increasing the quantity. Suppose if you want increase the quantity in a year, I will tell you one suggestion also, how to get 4 to 5 journals in a year. One thing is you should have fundamentally strong and you should know what is going on in your research. Like roadmap should be strong enough, like next 6 months, this is what the work I am doing. After 6 months, this is what the work. Next 6 months, this is what the work. First, at least some roadmap you should have. Once in depth, if you are going, that roadmap will be changing. Let it change. No issue at all. But the thing is, with some idea, you have to start. Now, starting only if I publish, suppose I have done 2 methods I have taken conventional, 2 controllers conventional I have taken, and 2 proposed I have taken, 2 proposed controllers I have taken. First only I will publish proposed controllers. Who will see my conventional controllers? So first what I will do, one conventional method with one conventional controller, I will publish the paper. Then first conventional method with second controller, I will publish. So that compared to first controller, second method will be better. Now, second method I will take. I will compare the result with first controller and second controller. the second control will give the better results. So I have some idea. I'm going with two conventional methods, two controllers, conventional, two proposed methods, two proposed controllers. So what I will do, a permutation and combination, first I will try with conventional method with two controllers. The second controller result will be better. Now second method with two controllers, second control will be better. So what I will do parallelly, one paper with first controller, I will communicate to one journal. With the second controller, with two controllers, I will communicate to another journal. So that 50% data will be different. Now, third paper, what I will do? Second conventional method with two controllers. Third paper, I will communicate. Next, fourth paper, proposed method with basic controller. Proposed method with second controller. Proposed method with the proposed controller. Proposed method with the second controller. So like that, what will happen? I'm segregating my work. I'm communicating within 1-2 months gap. I'm communicating to different journals so that there is a scope. I will definitely get a chance of every 3 months or every alternative 1 or 2 months, I will get a paper. For that one, you should understand strongly should understand how many methods I have considered, what conditions I have considered, what parameters I am going to analyze. And while you are comparing, all the parameters should be uniform way you should consider. Then you will get more papers. Otherwise, you will end up with only Scopus journal. Even paying journal also, you will get the difficulty. So if you want Scopus journal, try to focus on fundamentally strong, application wise strong, and while communicating, you follow these steps. Definitely hope you will get the better papers. Thank you.
ఈ వీడియో కానీ మీకు నచ్చినట్లయితే లైక్, కామెంట్, షేర్ చేయండి. మరిన్ని అప్డేట్స్ కోసం సబ్స్క్రైబ్ చేయండి.